How does live programming fit into TMZ, the online aspects?
Well, you know, on the internet, you have to keep reinventing yourself. It's not okay to rest on previous things you've done. So one of the things that occurred to the staff is this idea of live streaming from events where celebrities are likely to be involved. So for instance, if a celebrity is likely to be pulling up to a courthouse, sometimes we've had cameras outside of the courthouse. If a celebrity is at a restaurant, occasionally we film them inside of restaurants or on patios. The most popular thing we've done, which we actually have to get permission to do, is to go inside the courtroom. As an example of that is the recent case involving Hulk Hogan's son. We were actually in the court live streaming the sentencing hearing, and that's been very popular. People love that feeling of seeing things as they're happening.
It's a big opportunity to engage with your audience, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's very web-centric. I think that the thing to keep in mind is you're not print, you're not television, you're not something else, you're internet. And you have to always be focused on how to take full advantage of that medium. And you know, this is one of the ways you can do that.
What sort of engagement are you seeing, at least preliminarily?
I think that there's a little bit of a hypnotic effect to it. One of the first ones we did was Britney Spears was due in court, and we put a camera outside of the parking garage that she was supposed to pull into. And we were live streaming for nearly 2 hours, and she finally pulled up at about 1 hour and 57 minutes. And a lot of people stayed for that entire time. So, you know, it's very interesting to see what people will do and why they'll do it and what they find interesting. And these live streams seem to be very, very popular in general.
And you don't use, it's not the KABC with a satellite uplink, is it?
No.
Tell us a little about your high-tech solution there.
No, this is still very primitive. I'm not a technology person, but it's basically a laptop that has a wireless connection.
Yeah.
And it's also early stage. This stuff breaks down occasionally. This is very early in the process. But when it works, it's surprisingly good.
So Alan, tell us about the TV show that's been launched fairly recently, I think in September, and how it cross-pollinates with online, with TMZ Online, or if it does, or how that works.
Well, a lot of thought was put into what the personality show of the television product should be as opposed to the website. And obviously on television you can't be as 24/7. At a certain point you have a product that's in the can. So I think what we really focused on was capturing the personality of TMZ. So of course if there's news that happens in time for the show, the news is included, but there are also a lot of features and there's a lot of humor and personality and attitude. And of course we're covering the same people that the online site has covered and that's built up an audience. And so far it's worked very well. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary in September, and our audience is strong, it's growing, it's very competitive, if not ahead of a lot of shows that have been in the market for a long time, so we're very happy with it.
So you guys have sort of pioneered this celebrity journalism, kicking a lot of butt. It's hugely successful in the space. Tell us how that came to be.
Well, it really starts with Harvey Levin. Harvey's the managing editor. Harvey comes from a journalism background and a television background, and that's what he brings to the table, and it really does matter. You know, Harvey always starts from the perspective of a journalist or a reporter, and he wants to get the information first, and he wants to get it quickly, and he wants to get it right. And then he also knows how to tell it. You know, you have to know how to tell a story, and I think we're very good at that. If anything, we've gotten better at that aspect of it over time. So that today our materials usually very quick, very much on the mark, and often very funny. Not a bad combination.